The 12th time is a charm.
Well, if I had a nickel for every time I've heard it.
Every time you've said that the 12th time is a charm. What was the case for LeBron James and company against the Denver Nuggets, at least on Saturday? The Nuggets had a plus 31 point differential in the third quarter coming into this game. The Lakers led at every single half of this series thus far. LeBron James not wanting to give up the lead this time around. Goes around Jokic, wide open Davis, 25 points, 23 rebounds, Chiney, for AD.
Yeah, they were in attack mode on both ends, but particularly they just refused to be denied. Oh, there's a denial.
Yeah. This is when Bob Myers said, I feel like I maybe saw something similar to that in Oakland one time. Flashbacks. Anthony Davis flashing a pass there to LeBron James, who throws it down. Jokic saying, I had it. I really did. I had him. I had him right there having a little conversation, a spirited conversation. And then this what?
Love tap. That's what I'm calling it. He loves to make unconventional plays, and he taps it to his teammate for the finish. Come on now.
He shrugged before he did it as if he was still searching for the ball.
He's juggling.
It makes no sense. Jamal Murray looking, elevates. We see him hit this shot time and time again. The Lakers are still remembering that game 2 from a slightly different spot, but it lives rent-free. This is what Jamal Murray does. But watch here. He hangs on to the back of his left leg. He is questionable with that calf heading into tonight's game 5. LeBron James with the slam. D'Angelo Russell, remember, after having that 0-point game in game 3, shows up big for him here. D'Lo elevates. Yes, sir. Gets that one to go. The Los Angeles Lakers trying to hang on in the final minutes. This is when I think LA fans started to exhale a little bit.
Look, how many times will he give us plays? How old is he? 39? Still able to put the team on his back? Malika never gets old.
The Lakers win 119-108. Here's the thing that is just puzzling to me. LA has spent over 139 minutes leading out of 192 total minutes in this series, which means almost 73% of the total time. And Brian, those kind of numbers are insane. I put them on social media this weekend, and Los Angeles fans were like, please stop re-traumatizing us, which, fair. I hear you. I'm just going with the facts, so please don't get angry at the messenger. What do these numbers tell you, Brian?
Yeah, I know. I think some people are going to look at it and say that's the reason why the Lakers really are closer than 3-1 in this series. But I actually think it says more about the differential from the teams, because it's almost like the big brother letting the little brother get close and then pushing him down. The Nuggets have demonstrated that they feel like they can win routinely against the Lakers without having to play all 48 at full power. And I actually think that's the message the Lakers got to have tonight. Knowing that the Timberwolves have already advanced, they are now waiting for the winner of this series. Knowing that Jamal Murray is already dinged up, and knowing that the Lakers have been ahead of the Nuggets all 4 games in this series, I would expect Denver to come out of the gates tonight looking to establish control of this game on their home floor. And the test for this game really is, can the Lakers carry over the momentum they had by holding off the Nuggets in LA over the weekend and carry it over to the first half and tonight? If they're leading at the first half of tonight's game, that is really having done something, and that'll give them an opportunity after giving them the confidence over the weekend.
Obviously, the status of Jamal Murray is something we are all watching very, very closely. But outside of that, Perk, what are you watching in this game 5?
Oh, I'm looking at the matchup we've been looking at all series long. And we know that no one in the world could stop Jokic, but no one on the Denver Nuggets could stop Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. And he's been busting Jokic ass. I mean, he's right now scoring 75% of the time when Jokic is guarding him. It's times that I was yelling at the TV, give AD the ball and let him ISO, go to work. And it's times that, you see AD, he's been moving well on the baseline when it comes down to guys driving and dumping it off, being a lob threat at the basket. But when Anthony Davis is aggressive, that's a problem that Denver haven't solved. They even tried to put Aaron Gordon on them at times, and AD shot 4 for 9 from the field on him. So I'm looking at Anthony Davis, and he has to continue to go to work like he's been doing in this series.
You're absolutely right, Perk, because if there's going to be any silver lining for Lakers fans after Malika dropped those numbers on the minutes, I think it's every game this series you're seeing another player come along. This one was Austin Reeves for me, dropping 21, along with D'Lo bouncing back, plus AD being consistent, and then LeBron just being unstoppable on the open floor, downhill, attacking the rim. So that's the good news for Lakers fans. I think also when we put into context the Denver Nuggets too, this is the thing. They started off the season, and a lot of people were saying, oh, they're losing uncharacteristic road games. Where is that intensity? You're coming off of a championship. Then Jokic hit the group chat after All-Star, and they started turning things up. This was, to me, this potentially could be the moment that Brian described.
The Los Angeles Clippers in action against the Dallas Mavericks. We're not going to talk about the first half where the Clippers led by as many as 31 points. We're going to talk about where things got good, all tied up at 98 down the stretch. James Harden, this is vintage, and I mean the good version of vintage.
Can we give this man a little bit of credit? A lot of people say, what will you do in the postseason with Kawhi in and out? He has showed up so far.
But Kyrie Irving, he hit shots in this game that I have never seen anybody else do. He was a wizard. The shot making down the stretch here, Brian, just elite.
Extremely high-level basketball, star players doing star player things, throwing haymakers at one another, and a great moment for James Harden. This is why they got him for moments when Kawhi wasn't 100%. But how do you make that?
This is the shot. Nobody else.
You got to look at it in slow motion.
Yes.
Nobody else.
Like, come on. Levitation, finesse, skill, finish.
Even Mark Cuban can't believe it. How the heck did
Gravity
he do that?
doesn't affect Kyrie the way it affects the rest of us.
Right. Paul George, though, trying again to get a little revenge from that last game.
Great footwork.
33 points for PG. Let's take one more look at that.
Gen Z's favorite player right there for that reason.
Absolutely. And then next possession, right? Clippers up by 2. James Harden. Count it. And 1. Drives, finishes, and then under a minute left here. Clippers up by 3. Harden again. 33 points. The Clippers win 116-111. Even the series at 2 games apiece.
Crazy floater.
You wanted to give some love to James Harden. I absolutely agree. He scored 33 points on 12 of 17 shooting. And in so, he became the first player with a 30-point playoff game with 5 different NBA franchises. So, Chiney, who should feel better about the series being all tied up about, the Mavs or the Clippers?
The Clippers. They have to. With their main star, Kawhi Leonard, in and out of the lineup. Was it you, Brian, that just said it? James Harden is here for times like this, and I think he's been under the pressure cooker based off of how his career has gone from Houston to Brooklyn to all these places, but now he's arrived. I mean, the moment when he got to LA and said, even though we're in the midst of 6 games losing straight, we're going to stay in the gym and work, and the work is showing when it matters most.
Yep.
To me, that's great, but also, it's not just James. Paul George, to me, is the ultimate key. He is that ISO scorer that spreads the floor, that can get tough buckets, and I feel like he was due for a game like that because he's one of those players that should be able to rival Luka Doncic and Kyrie in series with an explosion of a game that really dictates. So to see James do what he was brought here for and also Paul George reemerge, now the question is when Kawhi comes back, how do they keep that all going at the same time?
I don't know when Kawhi's coming back.
Yeah.
I do know that Wednesday night here in LA is going to be a potential classic. Anytime you got 2-2 Game 5. One thing I think is really important, Luka was not quite the same after Friday. He banged knees early in that game.
Good point.
He openly came out yesterday and said that knee was affecting him. The Clippers smelled it. They attacked him. He has not quite been the same dominant player the last 2 games. Okay, now he's got Monday, Tuesday to recover, all day Wednesday. How Luka looks and feels on Wednesday night in a game that's probably going to determine the direction of this series is a huge factor going forward.
I'm on fire. The NBA over here,